Hello, everyone, and welcome to this training module on professionalism on the job, brought to you by the UGA Career Center. In this module, we will discuss the importance of introductions and first impressions in the workplace, best practices to navigate different aspects of workplace culture. We will define professional dress based on office environment, and we will leave you with some general tips for success in the workplace and how to be your best professional self. Awesome. So starting with introductions and first impressions. It is 100% true that you will never get a second chance to make a first impression in the work environment. So what's really great is that you want to be sure that you present yourself in the most effective and appropriate manner based on the office environment that you are in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you with some general tips for greeting others and introducing yourself. So the first thing that you really want to do is smile. You really want to make sure that you smile. That just makes you seem warm and approachable and friendly, and people are always attracted to those types of individuals. You want to make eye contact. That just shows a great sign of confidence and respect for the individual. You want to make sure that you always stand when greeting someone. This typically is just good practice in general. It shows a great deal of respect and it's extremely polite to do that. So definitely keep that in mind whenever it is that you are greeting another individual. Use first and last names when making introductions. So if you were to introduce yourself, be sure to use your first and last name. And when being introduced to another individual, feel free to even repeat their first and last name just to kind of let it sink into your mind. It just really shows a lot of professionalism and it makes you stand out from other individuals. A firm handshake speaks volumes. So it's extremely important to, whenever you shake someone's hand, be firm. That just really shows confidence. You never want to, you don't want to squeeze too tight, but just kind of let them know that your presence is there. And all of these different tips really just speaks to how you have to be confident in how you greet and approach individuals. It's all about just making sure that you convey to other individuals that you are an effective employee, that you respect other individuals, and that you are warm, approachable, and you are friendly. And all of these different tips can really help convey that to a variety of individuals in the professional world. So introductions and first impressions in general. Here are some really great networking tips that you want to keep in mind. Be intentional about using names. So I know we just previously talked about utilizing first and last names when introducing yourself and when greeting others, but be intentional about using those names. It may even be helpful to remember something really unique about the person. So if I know that Brandy has brown hair, that could be one way that I can remember that name. But it's really important to not only know people's names, but to actually use them. And it's okay to ask for the correct pronunciation of someone's name as well. Learn how to gracefully exit the room. You want to be sure that you enter the room as you leave it. You want to be confident. So when you feel as though you are about to transition out of a particular space, it's okay to shake people's hands as you exit, and be sure to leave the room, push in your chair. Make sure you close the door after you, so that they have a lasting, awesome impression of who you are. Thank the person for their time. They didn't have to be there, so it's really great that you thank them for being present and maintaining a sense of professionalism throughout that particular time that you were meeting. Don't discuss the person or the conversation until you have completely left the building. You never know who's watching or listening, so that's always great practice to be conscious about what it is that you say within the confines of your workspace. Bonus points. Be sure to follow up with individuals. Send a follow-up note to further solidify your relationship with someone. If this is the first time that you may be meeting them, feel free to send a follow-up written note or an email. That just really shows that you really you value the relationship and you value the individual and you want to maintain that. So that's just really great. That's always a great impression that you took the time out of your day to write an individual, just a thank you note or a follow-up note. Awesome. So now we're going to transition into workplace culture. We're going to talk about a few different things. So you really want to understand what the environment and the culture is like in the place that you work. It may take some time to understand that and identify what it is that that looks like, but it's really important for you to understand the culture so that you can navigate through the culture. So cubicle culture is the first thing that we're going to talk about. And what cubicle culture really is, it's just that culture that really is about individuals who work in a community space. So this could be people who work in cubicles, which are just like little tiny office spaces right next to each other in an open public space. Or if you just work in general, just maybe out in the open with others. Here are some great tips for navigating the world of cubicles. So you don't want to be a prairie dog. Like we have here in a picture of the prairie dog in our top right hand corner, you don't want to be the individual in the office that kind of pops up and always is checking out what other people are doing when you're not really asked to do so. So you want to grant your coworkers privacy. Don't chime into conversations unless you are asked. This is just a great sign of respect. And again, you are already in a communal space, so you really want to try to grant individuals as much respect and privacy as possible. Eat your lunch in other places. This is something great to keep in mind. You want to understand what it is, how individuals in that space really operate. So if you identify that none of your coworkers eat lunch at their cubicle space, I would advise you not to do so as well. Sometimes, depending on what type of work environment you have, that can be seen as unprofessional to have food in your workspace. So you want to keep it clean and you want to keep it as professional as you can all the time. Avoid informal gatherings, meetings, or speakerphone conversations in your cubicle. So again, you really want to, you're already in a communal space, so you want to be respectful of other individuals around you who may be trying to get their work done or who may be trying to concentrate on particular tasks and focus on the work that it is that they are doing. So you definitely want to be mindful of what you are doing in your cubicle space because it does affect other people. Decorating your space. Your office decorations reflect your professional brand and your personal style. So it's perfectly fine to have office decorations. Just make sure they coincide with the office culture and what's appropriate in the office. And one way that you can determine that is by looking and observing what your coworkers or managers or supervisors have as decorations in their office. And that can give you an idea of what it is that you can do to decorate your space. So some general office culture tips. So you want to get to know the organization. You want to get to know it physically and organizationally. And what that means is that you want to understand who do you report to, who may report to you, who are the individuals that are within your office and what it is that they do. Where are where are the offices located in relation to your office? It's really great to just understand who is around you so that you can better know who to contact when you need certain things or if you need certain resources. It's really great to just get to know your organization in general. Follow your manager's lead and keep them in the loop. So you want to determine what the communication best practices. So identifying how to communicate with your manager and how to communicate with others in your office is extremely important. So let's say if your manager is sending emails whenever they have questions, then that is something that you should follow because that is a part of the office culture. Is the best form of communication sending emails? Is it phone calls? Is it meetings? Whatever that looks like for your particular office, you want to make sure that you follow that. Saying no is okay. So you really want to know in general office culture, know your capacity. You can't do everything and you shouldn't try to do everything. So it's really important to know that saying no is perfectly fine and that it just really shows that you recognize your limitations as an employee. And recognize that there will be a learning curve as far as office culture. You're not going to get to know everything all at once. So it's really important to give yourself grace and know that it will take some time to get to know the general office culture. Handling conflict. So conflict is something that is oftentimes unavoidable. We are all human. Conflict will occur. So the best thing that you can do is learn how to approach conflict effectively. So if you've experienced conflict with a coworker, you first want to approach them to discuss the issue and attempt to find a compromise. So take the initiative and speak with them individually and see how you all can come to a middle ground. Do not talk about the issue or the person behind their back. That just doesn't create a very friendly work environment. It can create a hostile work environment. So you want to be sure that if you are going to talk about that issue, talk about it with that particular person only. And if for some reason you cannot come to a compromise, only approach the manager once the one-on-one mediation has failed. So it's perfectly fine to bring in a manager as a third party, but only do so when you have exhausted all of your other options. So continuing with handling conflict, sometimes we have conflict with our managers, which again is completely human and natural at times. So the first thing that you want to do is approach the manager to gain a better understanding of the issue. They may not be aware of your concerns, so it's important to first communicate those concerns to them. Frame the discussion around your differing work or communication styles, so that this is really effective in that it doesn't make anyone feel as though that they have to be defensive or that they are being attacked. But if you really frame it with, this is how I'm communicating, or this is how you're communicating, and there is something that is off, can we have a discussion? That is definitely an effective way to frame the discussion so that you can have a productive conversation with your supervisor or your manager. And if the situation is particularly bad, you may need to contact your human resources department just for more assistance with handling the situation or possibly for mediation. Great. So now we're going to transition into professional dress. Professional dress is extremely important in the work environment. And why does it even matter? Dressing effectively for your professional environment communicates preparedness, that you are prepared, the importance of the company image. You are portraying the company in the most effective way possible, and because you are a representation of the company. Professional competency, it just shows that you are able to do your job, and a great professional attitude, it just shows that you care about the work that you do and you want others to see that. So business professional is oftentimes a type of attire that that really comes to mind firsthand when individuals think of professional dress. So when it comes to a business professional attire, you want to make sure that you have a matching suit. Typically a navy, black, or gray are great suit colors to keep in mind. Pants or a knee-length skirt are always great things to keep in mind as well when it comes to a suit. Matching closed-toe dress shoes with socks or hose if you choose. Conservative dress shirt or blouse is always appropriate. Avoid low necklines because they can be seen as inappropriate or distracting in the workplace. Conservative accessories are really great to keep in mind. So that could be clear nail polish, natural looking makeup. If you need to tie your hair back, feel free to do so as well. Pay careful attention to grooming. So you want to be extremely light on the cologne and the perfume. You never know who might be sensitive to that around you, and you want to make sure that you are the sole focus of the professional environment and not other elements that might be going on with you. And stay on the conservative side, and definitely caution to cover any tattoos or piercings in business while you are wearing business professional attire. So business casual is really maybe just like a toned down version of business professional. So some elements that you can think of is a blouse or polo or button down shirt. Khaki or black pants are also acceptable. No jeans for business casual. This is deemed as inappropriate. Matching closed-toe dress shoes with socks or hose, and conservative accessories as well. Casual and smart casual. So with casual, jeans, Khakis are also great things that you can wear. No shorts when it comes to casual attire, that is deemed as inappropriate. Open or closed toe shoes are great as well. Just make sure that you do not wear any flip-flops. Again, a conservative blouse or collared shirt, conservative makeup, nail polish, and cologne as well, or perfume. And when it comes to smart casual, really the only difference in what that looks like is a lot of times individuals may wear blazers and pair that with jeans and maybe a conservative blouse or shirt. But again, it really just depends on the office environment. So it's really great to get to know your organization and see which attire is most appropriate. So these in general are just some things that you would like to avoid when it comes to professional dress. Avoid choices that are overly trendy or casual, any club attire or game day attire, items that fit poorly, that are wrinkled, could be dirty or torn clothing. These are generally some things that you would like to avoid with professional attire. Awesome. So some closing thoughts and tips for success. When it comes to being professional, you just want to be solution oriented. Think ahead and think about how you can solve situations that come up. Learn from and own your mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. They're human. Just as long as you grow from them and learn from them, that's all that you can do. Add value whenever possible in the workplace. You definitely want to be punctual and be present. Jump into tasks immediately and don't procrastinate, but be proactive when you are dealing with tasks or projects. Say thank you. Thank you goes a long way for individuals, and you always want to find ways to help others succeed. So sometimes in the workplace, it's not about you, but how can you be an asset to those around you and help them grow and develop professionally and reach their goals. So thank you for watching this module on professionalism on the job. If you have any other questions or would like to gain more resources and knowledge about this particular topic, please visit the UGA Career Center on the second floor of Clark Howell Hall. For appointments, feel free to contact the UGA Career Center front desk or schedule an appointment online via handshake at career.uga.edu. We also have drop-in hours Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. These do not require an appointment. Just come to the Career Center, and these are about 10 to 15-minute sessions about whatever it is that you have with regards to your professional development needs. The Arch Ready certificate program is also a great opportunity if you are looking to develop more just information and knowledge about professionalism. The Arch Ready professionalism certificate is designed to develop a strong sense of professionalism in students. If you attend 5 or more eligible events each semester and complete a final survey, you can obtain a professionalism certificate by the UGA Career Center. So for more information, please visit career.uga.edu/archready. And last but not least, we have the UGA Mentor Program. So if you would like to connect with an experienced alumni who can help you get ahead in life and in your career and give you more tips about professionalism, visit mentor.uga.edu to get involved in 3 simple steps. One, you will create a profile on our digital platform. You will then attend an in-person virtual orientation. And lastly, you will request an alumni mentor. So please feel free to check out these resources if you would like to learn more information about professionalism on the job.